my god, Iceman! Chill out, man! I know Wily would look funny in women's clothing. Calm the heck down!
Wow, Megs, that was pretty funny. Pretty good story that you got there. I tell ya. But anyway, Megs, well, I thought my last review of Mega Man 7 for Mega Man month went pretty cool. And so I guess for this month I'll be doing Mega Man and Bass. And actually, I'll probably be mentioning this in the review. This is my repro of Mega Man and Bass. But it's English translated, so it'll play in English, and it's nice to have a physical console copy to have. But on a lighter note, I will also probably mention, besides this one, this is not my first copy of Mega Man Bass I bought. This is the second one I bought. The first one I bought was back a couple of years back. This is the official version we got, so I can put that in there. This is Mega Man and Bass for the Game Boy Advance, but this will not. I will not be reviewing this at this time. And I guess these are pretty much the same games. If I do like what I plan on doing in the future, if there's another version of the same game on another platform, another console, I'm thinking of doing a comparison videos of sorts, like a comparison review. But that'll be in the future if I do decide to do that. But this will be the Super Nintendo one I'll be reviewing. So what do you think of that, Megs? Is it getting you excited? Any stories you want to tell me about that?
I heard King would dress up as a 1950s biker and get into dance fights. I totally heard that. Totally.
Okie dokie. That's more information than I wanted to know, Megs. Well, besides that anyway, I guess let's roll those fancy credits and let's take a look at Mega Man and Bass. So Mega Man month continues again, so let's get to it. Mega Man and Bass was released in 1998 for the Japanese Super Famicom, and it was ported over for the Game Boy Advance to North America in 2002. For this installment, an evil or a rogue robot named King breaks into a robot museum in Dr. Wily's lab and steals plans to make, of course, a robot army. But in this game, besides Mega Man trying to stop him, Bass enters the fray. And actually, at the beginning of a new game, you can pick between if you want to play as Mega Man or Bass, which is kind of interesting. And both have their own unique strengths and weaknesses. Of course, Mega Man, he can slide, charge his Mega Buster, and actually his shots do a little bit more damage than Bass's do. On the other hand, Bass, even though he can slide, he can actually fire in 8 directions, do a dash, so unlike Mega Man's slide, and another interesting maneuver, he can double jump, which is kind of useful at getting over gaps that Mega Man has trouble with. You could kind of say Bass is kind of like easy mode, although his shots from his Bass Buster does not do as much damage as Mega Man's Mega Buster, and Bass cannot charge his shots either. He doesn't have a charge shot like Mega Man has either. So it's an interesting, unique gameplay for either one. Well, for Robot Masters, you're probably wondering, hey Marcus, what are the interesting or fun names for the Robot Masters in Mega Man and Bass? Well, here you go. You fight Cold Man, Astro Man, Ground Man, Magic Man, Tenga Man, Dynamo Man, Pirate Man, and Burner Man. Oh, what's also interesting is two of the robots, Astro Man and Tenga Man, I think those are the two, were actually reused from Mega Man 8. Because you see, if you recognize the graphic style for this game, they actually took the animations and graphics and stuff from Mega Man 8 for the PlayStation and Sega Saturn and put them for the Super Famicom. I know, interesting, huh? I do think it's kind of interesting how they chose to use the Mega Man 8, graphic style. I wouldn't have thought that it wouldn't look as good. But actually, and by the way, if you're wondering what version I'm playing for this review, I actually was able to get a repro cartridge a repro for the Super Nintendo. And I think they might have English translated it. They might have, but I know most of this, as you can see, it's in English. So I was able to play it in English I was able to play a Super Nintendo reproduction card through the Retron 5. But though, and also actually, that wasn't my first copy of Mega Man and Bass. I do actually have the Game Boy Advance version, which is the official version us North Americans got. Although I must say though, for the Game Boy Advance version, because it has to fit onto a smaller screen, the graphic style. No, not the graphic style, but I think it looks more zoomed in. Whereas, as you can see on my playthrough, it looks like more normal. But on the Game Boy Advance, if you do get this on the Game Boy Advance, it is more zoomed in of sorts. Like it's kind of hard to gauge your jumps. And also, by the way, in this game, what I've noticed, this game is way difficult than other Mega Man games. And I do feel like there's a lot of cheap shots. I feel there's a lot of cheap moves by the computer. Because I feel like I didn't mind this game. It's not a bad Mega Man game, but I do feel like there's a lot of cheap deaths. Like some of these jumps I do, like when I jump, there's usually an enemy bullet waiting to knock me off or to halt my jump and send me hurtling down a bottomless pit, which is quite interesting. And I think so keep that in mind if you do decide to get this game. Is yes, there can be a lot of I feel like they kind of up the cheap death ratio in this game. So that's something to think about. And also, like the previous game I reviewed for this month, Mega Man 7, there is a shop. So as you beat enemies and stuff, you'll get screws that you can spend in the shop to make items that are helpful. And also throughout the game, there's soundtrack CDs, not soundtrack CDs, but those data CDs that when you get them will unlock certain special bios, or better, as in biographies and stuff, or unlock other things about the Robot Masters and other Mega Man facts and lore. And those are scattered throughout the levels as well. So if you want to be a more completionist and try to get all of them, I think you can get them all through the first playthrough, I guess. But unlike the other Mega Man games, there's actually has a battery save, so you don't need to use passwords to dock. You don't need to worry about running down any passwords, as this game on both the Super card as well as the official Game Boy Advance part does have a battery back save, so you don't need to worry about passwords, which is kind of cool and kind of nice too. As a Mega Man game, I thought it was alright. I do think it can be a little difficult, especially for for new entrants into the Mega Man franchise. And I did have my difficulties playing it because this can be, again, as I mentioned, there's a lot of cheap deaths in this game. And I feel like sometimes when I jumped, I would jump and the screen wasn't, and especially on the Game Boy Advance version of this game, when I would jump, I felt every jump was a leap of faith at first, because when I jumped, who knows what would be on the other side? Would it be a regular, would I land safely? Or would there be like an enemy ready to knock me off? Or if it was a solar platform, would it knock me off into a cliff and make me lose a life? So I do feel that was always like, is that going to happen? Is it not going to happen? So keep that in mind if you decide to find a copy of this, Game Boy Advance, to pick up a repro copy of this game. But anyway, and I don't think, I forget if this is on any like virtual console or something. I haven't really checked, and it might be, but yeah. But anyway, if you do pick this up, just keep that in mind that it can be the difficulty is way up there as far as Mega Man difficulties go. But throughout all of that, I don't mind this game. Of course, I don't mind it if I'm a big Mega Man fan, although not as big as some people. But I have a fair amount of Mega Man games, as well as Mega Man compilations as well. So to me, if you're a big Mega Man fan, and I think you should owe it to yourself to at least pick this up, just to see if it's not bad. Although again, if the difficulty could have been tweaked a little bit to be a little bit more not as cheap deathy and stuff, but what can you do? Well, anyway, I will give my recommendation scale of, because of the cheap deaths, I can't highly recommend this game, but I don't want to slightly recommend this game, because all in all, it is a decently fun. I did have some enjoyment with this, so I will just give my recommendation scale. I'll give my recommendation scale of recommended. And as always, if you live in or around South St. Paul, Minnesota, please make sure to visit my excellent friends at Level Up Games. Their place, what they look like, is there. Their address and website is down there, down below. And they also have video games. They have tabletop board games, Magic tournaments, Magic collectible cards to buy. I think Pokemon collectible card game packs to buy. And they have also weekly. They have like fighting game tournaments or fighting game things. You can bring your PS4 or whatever, play some Smash Brothers, some Street Fighter, or whatever kind of fighting game you want on your console. And among other things. And so please give them a look if you're in the area. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, awesome sauce. And if you like what you see, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And also, I have a Facebook fan and group page, which is down below at the bottom there. And I have an Instagram and a Twitter account as well. And that stuff's down below as well. Well, anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. And stay tuned for the next episode of Power Up. So hey Megs, yes, you had a great adventure with Sonic the Hedgehog here apparently. Did this happen for real? Because I think he was cheating a little bit, dude. Exclusively between you and me, I think you're the better combatant. But that's just me. But anyway, after that, Wow, it's kind of must have been insane working with, kind of insane being in like his zone, his like zone. You know how Sonic games are zones and stuff. But yeah, thought it was well. I thought it would be quite a trip. So what do you think? How did you think of your adventure? Your adventure with Sonic?
Well, Sonic totally cheated. I could totally kick his butt. Anyway, I did enjoy teaming with him. Interesting fellow he was. Had some pretty interesting friends too. And also when I was teaming with him, those zones we'd go into, wow, was wild. If you thought this one was crazy, wait till you go into a zone. Holy boy! Wow!
Really? That is quite interesting, dude. Quite interesting. But wow, that's nuts. Well, I guess I just thought I'd ask, my friend. Just thought I'd ask. Well, anyway, that concludes Mega Man Month on Power Up. So, according to my new schedule, I won't be doing anything Power Up wise next month, but I might throw a couple things of either the gaming content or other projects in this next month, if I choose to. But I'll try my best to. And I know actually this coming month I'll probably do the next part of my room tour. So I'll finish up that so you get to know, because I just did the first part where I just did Nintendo, Sega, and Atari stuff. Sony and Microsoft and UG and all that stuff will be coming in the next will be coming in the next part of the room tour. But anyway, if I can stop going out of focus here, gotta love, there goes my Asperger's, gotta love that rockin'. But anyway, that's all for this month. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of Power Up.